How's it rockin', Dween Nation? This is the Dween Sports Podcast. We're about to get underway. But before we do, we'd love if you could like, comment, subscribe, or share. We are posting weekly sports content, and we want to build up the brand that is Dween Sports. Thank you all, and enjoy.
Welcome in, Dween Nation. This is your host, Justin Pies, and I'm here to discuss the Elimination Chamber in Toronto on March 1st. A handful of matches to discuss for this episode. I'm really excited for the Elimination Chamber. It's always bringing great matches. Obviously, it's super fun to see everybody in the chamber. Most of the time, it's really big names with some really big spots, and then we see either a new champion being crowned, but as of recent, it is the winner will go on to face the champion at WrestleMania. And let's see how it plays out. Now, we have a couple non-championship matches, and then we have no championship matches tonight or on the Elimination Chamber. But let's dive into it. We're going to start with Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus taking on Nia Jax and Candice LaRae. This matchup doesn't get me crazy excited. Now, obviously, Trish Stratus is a Toronto girl, and Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax and Candice LaRae have had this beef for the last handful of months. Obviously, Tiffany was the lackey to Nia Jax. Then Candice LaRae showed up, and there's always been a build-up. Obviously, she wins the Money in the Bank to, take the title off of Nia Jax. And now Nia Jax has been on the hunt trying to get it back, and she hasn't. And obviously, I don't think we'll see another title match between these two, at least not until well after WrestleMania. Tiffany Stratton, though, hasn't really had solid defenses. I know she went up against Bayley and now has kind of had this Nia Jax thing. But she definitely needs a win in her corner, and that's why I think that her and Tiffany Stratus, Tiffy time and Trishy time will definitely prevail over Nia Jax and Candice LaRae. And hopefully, I don't think this matchup will set up anything. I think it's somewhat of a one-off. Just to kind of maybe quiet the Nia Jax storyline with Tiffany and also bring in Trish Stratus to have some build-up with Tiffany being a tag team with one of the greats in Trish Stratus. But I think this matchup was just something to throw in there to fill out the rest of the card. But it's still going to be a fun watch. Tiffany Stratton is great. Obviously, Trish Stratus is as well. And Candice LeRae, very underrated. I know she doesn't have much of a story and is the kind of sidekick to Nia Jax. But I think this match will be fun, but obviously there's a lot of other matches on the card that people are excited about. But I have Tiffy time and Trishy time winning in this matchup. Let's now talk about The Rock and Cody Rhodes, because obviously we had the weird, confusing promo by The Rock to Cody Rhodes as of last week that he wanted Cody to be his champion and to sell his soul. Like, it essentially means I will make a lot of your worries go away, but I kind of have control over you. And is that what Cody Rhodes wants to do? I don't think that's what he wants to do now. I think something's going to happen along the lines of either at WrestleMania or further on where Cody will lose the title and go through desperate, dire straits and run his way back to being this evil corporate version of himself. But I think it's not going to happen here at the Elimination Chamber. I think he's going to decline The Rock's offer. Now, there's a couple things. Either The Rock's just going to go away and be like, all right, you made this mistake. And we won't see anything the rest of this segment. Or we could see The Rock be like, I had a feeling you're going to say that, and bring out somebody to be who is going to be his champion. Now, who could it be? Could it be the Roman Reigns? I don't think so. I mean, maybe. It could be maybe Solo Sikoa or Jacob Fatu. I'm going into the Bloodline brand here. Possibly I could see a Drew McIntyre. Now, I've seen a couple names be thrown out, maybe John Cena or CM Punk. I just don't see that happening. I know both men are desperate to get their 17th title or to headline WrestleMania, but do you see their characters, being somebody who would sell their soul, really sell out for The Rock, who in the past has been one of their arch rivals, each of them? So I don't see either of those two being ones to sell their soul. But I do think The Rock definitely has something up his sleeve. Or if he doesn't have a champion to kind of replace Cody Rhodes' offer, I think it's just something that will be looming around Cody Rhodes past WrestleMania, and he will end up taking that offer at one point. But for now, it's going to be a no from Cody Rhodes. He's going to stay face. And yeah, we're just going to move on like that while The Rock kind of looms in the background. for the foreseeable future. Let's talk about this next matchup, and it's the women's Elimination Chamber match. Winner goes on to face Rhea Ripley or Iyo Sky for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. And what do I got here? So, obviously, let's first dig down to Rhea Ripley or Iyo Sky. What do we think is going to happen? Obviously, they have a championship match the night after Elimination Chamber, or 2 nights after, on Monday Night Raw. I don't see Rhea Ripley losing that matchup. Now, I could see shenanigans where maybe Iyo loses, but gets another chance and is inserted into this WrestleMania championship matchup. That could happen. I could see it happening, but I'm just going to say, as of right now, we're going with Rhea Ripley. Which one of these 6 women will go on to face her? Now, let's start canceling out the ones that we don't think is going to happen. Let's start with these top 2 ladies. Roxanne Perez, who obviously is come onto the scene really fast. Obviously, if you're watching NXT, she's been a great for a while, but she's no longer champion. Obviously, lost that to Julia, and now she's kind of cooked up this feud with Bayley, where I think that's going to they're going to take out each other in some way in this chamber match, and that's going to set up either a stand and deliver or a WrestleMania match between these 2 ladies. So I don't think either of them are going to win. Then we move to Naomi. Now, Naomi and Bianca Belair just lost their tag team championships to Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. So, it does 2 things. To me, it still doesn't mean Naomi's going to win this. I don't think she will. But Bianca Belair all of a sudden becomes an actual candidate for me to win this Elimination Chamber. I don't think they'll have one half of the tag team championship be in the matchup with Rhea Ripley, and then we won't see the women's tag team championship, defended. I know it wasn't defended last year, but I just don't see that being the storyline, especially with the looming return of Jade Cargill. So I think it could happen either at Friday SmackDown. Obviously, I'm recording this as a Thursday night. I could see Jade returning and, being like, hey, I knew it was you, Naomi, or I knew it was you, Bianca. Or, hey, I knew it was both of you. Something's going to happen with Jade, though, that I think we will see Jade either go against Naomi at WrestleMania or against Naomi against Bianca Belair. I could see some mix-up or matchup with those, but that has me canceling out Naomi. Now I'm going to keep Bianca in this discussion, though. And now let's look at Liv Morgan. And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of people have soured on the Liv Morgan Rhea Ripley feud. It did get a little stale, but I love me some Liv Morgan. Obviously she's a great worker, has been a great heel. But now that she's tag team champion, the same argument I just had for me thinking Bianca was going to win when she was champion, the same story is going to go here with Liv, and I think that she will not win the chamber matchup this time around. And that leaves it then to me either being Bianca Belair or Alexa Bliss. And now Alexa Bliss just came back at the Royal Rumble. And in all of her promos, there's been little glitches and little nods to the Wyatt Six getting involved with her. So I think that there's a different storyline for Alexa Bliss going into the future with the Wyatt Six. So I don't think she's going to win this. As much as I would love to see her, and I love that she is back in the WWE. I mean, we didn't have her for 2 years. So I think that this is great that she's back, but I just don't think that they're going to put her in the headline championship scene unless they want to do a Rhea versus Alexa and have the Wyatts join in. I just don't think that's going to happen. And the fact that they put Alexa on SmackDown, like they made sure to mention that. I don't think Alexa Bliss will win, and that leaves, by process of elimination, Bianca Belair. Now, there was, I believe a month or 2 ago, there was like some leaks and rumors that that's what they were setting up, Bianca and Rhea, and unfortunately, that's what I think is going to happen here. I mean, not unfortunately, because Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley is a star versus star matchup. That is what actually everybody really wants to see. But to be honest with you, there's no buildup. I mean, I have not seen, there's no connection between those two to get me interested yet. But also, we won't have WrestleMania to April 19th or something like that. So there's time. But I think that's what the matchup we're going to get. It's going to be Bianca Belair winning the Elimination Chamber to go on to face Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. Let's talk about the next matchup, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And wow, I didn't think we were going to get it this soon. I thought that when Kevin Owens showed up, pile drive Sami Zayn, it was going to put Zayn on the shelf till WrestleMania. But no, we're getting it in Toronto, which is great. Both Canadians playing at home, and it's an unsanctioned match, which means it's going to be a non-DQ match, which means that it's going to be brutal, bloody, really painful, but very exciting to watch. And this is what I think is going to happen. I think that to end this match, Kevin Owens is going to win. He has been on a losing streak, and to be honest with you, I've absolutely loved every bit of his character. Even though it's gone extreme, and he's caused injuries to Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn, and he's evil and he's been ruthless. He's kind of in the right. Hey, I mean, I feel like a lot of people might be saying that, but his reasons are totally valid. And to me, it even showed up more when I'm bringing up Seth Rollins, who just had the conversation with Cody Rhodes on Monday Night Raw, where Seth was like, Cody, why are you even listening to The Rock after everything I sacrificed to help you get that title, to help end the Bloodline's, tyrannical reign? Why are you still doing this? And I think Kevin went through that too when Roman or Cody decided to team up with Roman to beat Solo and the new Bloodline. So to me, Kevin is right, and I might need to go buy one of those shirts that he was wearing a couple weeks ago. But anyway, this matchup, I think he's going to pull out the victory, but the thing is, he's not going to leave on his feet because Kevin Owens is going to win, but Randy Orton is going to return here at this PLE and give a good RKO to Kevin Owens and set up that matchup for WrestleMania. It'll be Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, which we've been waiting for Randy's return. So I really am excited to see him back. I thought it might happen at the Royal Rumble in that Cody matchup, the ladder match, but since it didn't, I think it's definitely going to happen here. Now, the question is anything going to be set up for Sami Zayn headed to WrestleMania? And call me crazy. What I think is going to happen, I think Sami Zayn's WrestleMania opponent is Karrion Kross. Some of you aren't excited, but actually I really like Karrion Kross. I like how he's kind of planted the seeds for a lot of people to turn bad. Obviously, we saw it with Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. He's been lurking around. He talked to Seth Rollins. He talked to Sami Zayn. So we've seen some turns that Karrion Kross. Oh, he did it with the Miz, where the Miz was with R-Truth, and then Karrion showed up, and now Miz is back to being the Miz. So I think that Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn, though, they've been in backstage talks for the last month, and I think that there's a possibility that Karrion Kross comes in here and we see the shenanigans that happened with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, and Karrion Kross comes in here and takes out Sami Zayn. Now we could wait for that for Monday. I could see that waiting till Monday Night Raw, since you want to kind of show the shine with Randy Orton. But I'm telling you, Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross is going to happen. And if it's not set up here at Elimination Chamber, it'll happen in a future Monday Night Raw within the next couple of weeks. Now let's talk about the last match, the men's Elimination Chamber match with six absolute studs. This is going to be a great matchup. Hall of Famers across the board. And the winner will go on to face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. Let's kind of do the same thing we did with the women's Elimination Chamber match. Let's start eliminating some people. And I'm going to have to start, unfortunately, with Seth Rollins. I love Seth Rollins. He's been great. But he is destined for a Roman Reigns WrestleMania match. And I think that's where it's going to lead. Either Roman Reigns returns or Seth just loses, and then we go into a Roman Reigns storyline after this PLE. But Seth Rollins is not going to win this matchup. He is destined for Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Now let's look at Damian Priest. As much as he has been on a tear, I don't think he is in line to go and headline WrestleMania against Cody Rhodes. I think he is maybe going to go against Jacob Fatu, or maybe go for this U.S. Championship with Shinsuke and LA Knight. I think something else is lined up for Damian Priest, but it's not going to be the championship match with Cody Rhodes. Now Logan Paul. he's not going to win it either. As much as they've had, matchups in the past, it wasn't a super thrilling matchup. What was it, King of the Ring, last May, or May or June? But hey, Logan Paul obviously brings in a lot of eyeballs, so he's going to have a match at WrestleMania, but he will not win Elimination Chamber. There's a possibility he sets up a WrestleMania match with either of the two men in John Cena or CM Punk. That I could see. Now, I know some people maybe aren't as excited to hear that, like John Cena's farewell WrestleMania is against Logan Paul, but I feel like you could get any normal, not watching WWE person to be like, oh, Logan Paul versus John Cena? I kind of want to watch that. I could see that. I could see the same thing for CM Punk as well, even though John Cena is more of the known commodity amongst non-WWE fans. But anyway, that's going to cancel out Logan Paul to me. Now it leaves these three guys: CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and John Cena. This one's really tough. This is one of the more unpredictable outcomes I could see, because I could see Drew. To me, the only way Drew McIntyre wins this Elimination Chamber is if he is the one that takes up the offer with The Rock to sell his soul for to be The Rock's champion. Obviously, we saw when The Rock started off, Raw on Netflix, that at the end of the show, on socials, he was talking to Drew McIntyre and close with Drew McIntyre. So there's a possibility for that. And Drew McIntyre, to me, is the only person out of those three guys that would sell his soul and be The Rock's champion, because Drew McIntyre again and again has been really close to winning the title and has not really held on to it. Obviously, the last time he was holding on to the World Heavyweight Championship was, at WrestleMania, when he lost, when Damian Priest cashed it in. Now, another possibility is Drew McIntyre against Damian Priest. That has been a rumored WrestleMania match, because Damian Priest did eliminate Drew McIntyre from the Royal Rumble, and both guys are on SmackDown. So there's storylines there. Now, John Cena, I feel like that is really headline worthy. John Cena and Cody Rhodes, as well as CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. That's what makes it really tough. And I didn't want to have it super prepped. I wanted to kind of go in here and give you like fresh reactions and analysis and thoughts. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm just jiving. What do I think's who's gonna win? Let's get to the goods. Who's gonna win this matchup? And I think it's going to be, oh man, this is really tough, because I also could see CM Punk losing and then going into the triple threat against Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, because that was kind of set up at the Royal Rumble. I could also see CM Punk calling in that favor from Paul Heyman and maybe getting himself inserted into a Cody Rhodes championship match with John Cena or Drew McIntyre. What do I want? You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to go with John Cena. John Cena will win, get himself the headline of WrestleMania in his last WrestleMania. There's a possibility CM Punk's thrown in there in a future Raw or SmackDown episode. But as of today, I'm going with that, as John Cena will win the Elimination Chamber and go on to face Cody Rhodes. This PLE is going to be awesome. I'm really excited for it, top to bottom. It sets up a lot, as I mentioned. Rollins is going to be set up with something. McIntyre, Priest, for the ladies, Liv Morgan and Naomi and Jade Cargill might return. Roxanne Perez and Bayley. There's some really interesting storylines headed into the Elimination Chamber and coming out of the Elimination Chamber. So, and we won't get a PLE until WrestleMania in mid to late April. So make sure you go ahead and watch the Elimination Chamber. And if you want me to, I don't know, live react to it or do reactions to it after the fact, anything, if you like this video, please give us a like, give us a subscribe. We are a sports podcast. We do WWE, we do the NFL, we do the NBA. We got some college basketball and college football. So just stay tuned and keep building with it, and we will continue to do so with this. But thank you guys for listening. And as my brother Genoa always says, peace.